World Circle Boxing. This is episode 2 of a fighter profile, and I'm joined here by Derrick Osaze. How you going, Derrick?
I'm very well, thank you, man. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, man. It's a pleasure to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, mate. It's good to have you. Alright, I want to ask you a few questions. It's fighter profile, so what we want to know is, where did it all start? How did it all begin for you, Derrick?
In terms of where it all started, it'd probably be about 10 years ago, so age 15. Growing up, I was always, interested in sports. I played for my school football team, basketball team, rugby. But the problem was I was getting into a bit of trouble at school. I struggled with anger management when I was young, so none of the sports I played were helping me in terms of controlling my aggression. So I'd always been a fan of boxing and grew up watching the likes of Tyson and Lex Lewis. So a friend recommended, trying out boxing. So how I started with boxing was just basically to keep out of trouble. And then, so I found the local boxing club, and yeah, the rest was history. It went from a hobby to a passion to a lifestyle. So yeah, I could never imagine, that 10 years later I'll still be in the sport as a professional. So yeah, it was just literally to keep out of trouble, and I feel like boxing changed my life. It taught me a lot of things that helped in every my life, and the biggest one being discipline. So yeah, so it was just to keep out of trouble, and then the rest was history, man.
So when you first started, because I know originally from Peckham, aren't you?
Yeah.
You now box out from Nottingham.
Yeah.
Was this in Peckham or was this in Nottingham? When did you come to Nottingham?
So this was in London. So age 15, I grew up. I was born in Peckham. I grew up in South East London because I moved from one part of South East London to another, an area called Thamesmead. So a club that I actually started with was an amateur club called Meridian ABC in Charlton. I was carded, I was actively sparring, but at the time, due to the constraints of doing my GCSEs and school, it was very hard because although I had moved away from Peckham when I was about 12, I was still travelling to Peckham to go to school. So with the hour-and-a-half commute to school, training, and then obviously trying to revise for my exams, it was hard to commit to it properly. So what brought me to Nottingham was I came to Nottingham Trent to do university. So it was then when I came to uni, obviously I started off with Phoenix Amateur Boxing Club, Carl Froch's old club, and that's where I had my first 5 amateur fights. So that would have been January 2013, where I had my first amateur fight age 19. So started age 15, was in and out of it for a few years, came back up to Nottingham. So Nottingham is important to me for boxing because obviously it's where my boxing career was properly established. It's where I had my first amateur fights and where the whole journey officially kicked off.
Yeah, very good. Alright, you're also a minister, which is bizarre in the boxing. I don't think I've ever come across another boxer that's also a minister.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How did that all come about?
Yeah, I've actually come to a point now where I'm at peace at knowing that it's quite unusual because even when I sit down and think about it, it's like, okay, alright, it's not conventional. But how it came about, was really it's just that I'd always grown up in a Christian home. I grew up as a Catholic, went to Catholic school and stuff. But I feel like my walk with God or my faith in God up until a certain age was very much autopilot. Yeah. You just do things because it seemed like the right thing to do, and you were told that it was the right thing to do. So I felt like it's only until when I got to Nottingham, and obviously I'm living them by my own, then you begin to really identify the certain things you do in your life or certain patterns that were just you following suit, which are automatic. So I remember when I came up to Nottingham, I was like, I couldn't even answer the question to myself, okay, why do I go to church? Do you know what I mean? So there was a long period for 2 or 3 years where I didn't really take my faith seriously. I didn't really go to church, and there was just one time, maybe in my final year, so this would have been around age 19, 20, when I just said, you know what, I want to maybe take this a little bit serious. So I made the decision myself to start attending church more and stuff, and yeah, the rest was history. After that, I then got involved in the leadership at church, and one thing just led to another, and then I felt like it was something that God called me to do. So I'm an ordained minister, youth pastor, and it's great because I feel like I have a duty to sort of kind of share my faith and how much it's helped me in my life. So it's great. So I guess the punching preacher kind of makes sense. I didn't really like the nickname at first, actually. I hated it because I thought it was like, it sounded like a WWE character, like gimmick or but it was given to me by my manager, Jimmy Gill.
You and Echo and Team DCT. Tell us about this. So you and Echo work together.
Yes.
Very, very closely.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody was looking on the outside, they'd think you're brothers.
Yeah.
So how did that relationship come about?
Yeah.
And then how did you get involved with DCT?
Yeah. So actually, like I said, Echo he's a massive inspiration to me, man. I tell him all the time. He's my big brother. So how it all came about was, so at the time when I was amateur boxing in Nottingham, I remember I used to follow the amateur boxing quite a lot. So I remember Echo's name popped up a lot because at the time he was doing a lot of amazing things with Bilbao. At the time he was on the cusp of joining the GB squad. So I remember there was a few articles that came out. So I'd already known the name Echo. Do you know what I mean? It was quite inspiring to see someone like myself, you know, doing great stuff in amateur boxing. And then fast forward, both our amateur coaches knew each other. So we would see each other at shows, and then it was only when we went down to Bilbao Boxing Club to spar. So as me and Echo, we sparred. I remember the first round, I felt like Echo was kind of sussing me out, so he was letting me jab him and stuff, and I was thinking, oh, I'm doing alright with the GB guy, like, I must be good. And then I remember in the second, third and fourth round, every jab I threw, I just got punished. And so after the spar, we got talking a lot. I always tell Echo that he doesn't know how much that was important to me, because at the time, around that time of the spar, I was becoming quite disillusioned with amateur boxing. I was almost considering packing it in, to be honest. For someone like Echo, who at the time I looked up to, and I still look up to, it was amazing for him to sort of kind of just say so much positive things and encourage me about, you know, my ability in the sport. And so yeah, then fast forward. So even after that and before that, sometimes we'd run past each other in the forest, and we'll see each other and be like, we know each other and stuff like that. So one time after the spar, I used to see videos of him training with Harrington Brown, former professional boxer. Like, he's the head coach at DCT, and I just used to watch the videos and think, oh, I feel like this is something that I need to take me to the next level. So one day I just messaged Echo and I was like, look, would your coach mind training me as well? And he said, yeah, great. And so that was it. I messaged Dan at Barrington Brown, and the rest was history, man. And that's how I came to DCT Boxing, which stands for Dreams Come True.
Right, I want to take you to the beginning of last year now.
Yes.
Of the Adams Stadium.
Yes.
Jacob Lucas.
Yes.
I think you fancied it a little bit, didn't
Yeah.
it? For about, how long was it?
About 40 something seconds. I remember you got some iconic pictures that day as well, actually. Yeah, do you know what, going into that fight, so that was my second fight in 3 weeks. I knew I was meant to fight twice in 4 weeks, but what happened was the fight before that, which was in London, got pushed a week back, because I don't know if people remember, last year that was around the whole Beast of the East with the snow. So I remember I had 2 fights in 3 weeks, and I think by the time I got to that night, I was mentally exhausted. Like, to stay in the gym the last week was hard, do you know what I mean? And I felt like, you know, there was a lot of issues outside of the ring as well. You know how professional boxing is with, you know, tickets and stuff and that, and piled on with the mental exhaustion as well, of just not wanting to be in the gym anymore because I'd been in the gym for so long. I felt like I kind of had to use that frustration, and I channeled that into the fight. And I remember Echo would testify to this. Like, we sat down in the changing room before the fight, and I said to Echo, I said, I feel really angry, but I'm gonna put the anger into the fight. And literally, so I remember I just came out steaming. I caught him with a shot, and I think that was it. And then Echo went and done.
That's all she wrote.
The same, yeah.
I'd say both of you and Echo the same night. Both put you, I think, what was Echo's? I think he was under a minute as well.
Yeah, his was a little bit faster than mine. I think he beat me about a good 6 or 7 seconds. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling, man. It was my first time boxing at the Harvey Haddon, and it was just great to box locally in a Nottingham show. And yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I felt like that fight for me, it's still a day that I would struggle to forget. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, not only my first stoppage, first time boxing at the Harvey Haddon. Yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait.
Middleweight for Ultimate Boxer Champion. How did that all go about?
Oh man, where do you even start? Yeah, man, it was an amazing experience. to start. We go back to.
I've got to say that face. I was watching it with my missus. Your first opponent. You looked at that bloke, and I said to my missus, I said, I'm glad he don't look at me like that, because I need a change of underwear. I'm glad he'd be friends.
Yeah. Do you know what? Going into the tournament, I was extremely confident. My coach was extremely confident. Like, you know, when you know the work you put in, you know what you're capable of, and you know how much you believe in your ability, then it will just show. Do you know what I mean? Going into the tournament, of course, you know, I wasn't the odds-on favourite, but odds don't matter. And you know, you were talking about in terms of the stare down. I think my first opponent, Taylor Jones, and it's funny. Mike Tyson used to say it all the time. And said, you know, he would look into the eyes of a fighter before the fight, and he knew at that moment in time that he'd won. And I remember just staring into the eyes of my opponent, and I kind of felt like a switch just flipped, and I just knew. I just knew there was no way I was going to be beaten. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man. Like my coach told me, he said, look, go in there. There's no pressure. Have fun. And I think that's what I did.
Pretty much so. Because he slipped his jab, and then you hit him with a big right hand, and that sent him to the canvas tumbling. He had him out then, because he did look like he was close to being out.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's kind of been the story in a lot of my fights. You know, like I always know the power's there. My record may not suggest that. Obviously, only one stoppage in 9 fights. But my problem is that, you know, sometimes I feel like I can negate my own power. Whereas I'm maybe not throwing shots from the right angles or throwing them in the right way. So after I did drop it, and it's funny enough because you know, first round was rushing a little bit. My coach said, look, just settle down, establish your range, and obviously that's what helped get the knockdown. But I think after that, it was just keeping calm. You know, if the knockout comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I feel like after then, I was pretty much confident that, you know, even with the knockdown, that I had the fight in the bag. So I kind of, after that, I feel like my mind was already thinking about the next match. Do you know what I mean? So it was just sort of kind of managing the fight, you know, not because sometimes you get a knockdown and you could just, your head goes, you start rushing.
Try and blow him out, blow himself out.
But it just kept calm, composed. Obviously, it was second round and we had one more round to go, and just seeing out the fight, which I did.
Well, you took amazing support with you on the telly.
Yeah.
All you could hear was your supporters around the arena.
It's so funny because like when you're there, right, you're so much in the zone that everything just blows over your head. So I wasn't aware of you know, BT Sport going into the crowd and speaking to some of the people that came to support me and my family, and like how much there was excitement about like the people that came to support me. So it was only when I watched it back like the next day or 2 days after. But yeah, man, it was amazing because people kept coming back to the change room and saying, wow, man, like, your fans are loud and stuff. But it was awesome. Like I said, I spent a good part of my teenage years about 20 minutes away from the O2, so that's more or less like my home. And yeah, it was great.
So it was like boxing at home, basically.
Yeah, it was great.
Which was your toughest fight? For me watching it, it looked like it was Kieran Conway.
Yeah.
But for you?
Do you know what? Personally, if I'm being really, really honest, I felt like there was none of the fights where I was in there and I thought, oh, this is hard, this is tough, if I'm being honest. I feel like I didn't even get to show all my ability. I really feel like I didn't come out second and third gear, if I'm being honest. I feel like there was a lot more gears. I feel like even after the final, I could have probably boxed a few more rounds, another fight. But I'd say Kieran Conway is the fight where I had to think a lot more. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that my style is quite an aggressive, come forward style at times, but that's the style that we implemented for this tournament. That's the style that we knew would work. But with Kieran Conway, you know, you can hear my coach say that we call my educated pressure. So I wouldn't say it was a tough fight because I wasn't blowing or anything, but I would say it was a fight where I had to sort of kind of exercise more of my boxing skills and use educated pressure. So yeah.
Right, Derrick Osaze, Ultimate Boxer Champion. Thank you very much for coming to Square Circle.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. And you guys like, share, subscribe, follow, all of that, and just make sure you follow this great channel, this great platform. I just thank you for giving fighters like myself the opportunity to, you know, kind of get exposure, man. Like you've been there from the beginning, right from the pro debut, man. So I really much appreciate it.
Thank you very much.